Hey everybody, my name is Paul Romoser. I am the campus pastor at the Community Church of Greensburg, and boy do I have a story to tell you. Definitely a God story. So while I was pastor at Brookville Road Community Church, I was doing children and youth ministry there. One of the things that I noticed was after worship service, the children were just running around the church, and sometimes they would run on the chair. Sometimes we had some rocks outside and they would just play on that. But we just had this thing where I just thought, man, my heart goes out to these children because the adults are being the adults and they're standing around talking in fellowship. But then the children are going, well, we're going to make our own fun. We're going to do something. And so for about a year or two, I thought, what can we do to help the children? And so I started praying about different things that we could do and things that would be available to them and what we could do. And so one of the things I thought would, for our events, that we could just have some fun things for children would be like a snow cone machine, if we could get a popcorn machine. That way the children would have something to do, they would have some excitement, and I'm all about creating fun. And so one day, one of our elders called and said, hey, Paul, there is an auction coming up at a Discovery Zone, which was a big play place, and they're selling a popcorn machine. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to go. So I was walking around all these items where they had like the crafts and those kind of things. And I get to this counter and I see bags of popcorn and I see sacks, but there's no popcorn machine. I'm thinking, this is crazy. The whole reason I came down here is for this popcorn machine. And I thought, okay, God, what's going on here? So I meandered around some more and I went by this small place set area and I go, okay, man, that's nice. Then I came to the big one. I mean, this big one was big. 2 ball pits, had climbing ladders. It was massive. And I thought, whoever buys this is going to have a big job in tearing this down. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to stay around just for the fun of it. The auction was about ready to begin. So they went around and auctioned some of those small things off. And then they get to this big play set. I mean, this thing was so large. And so I'm standing there, and there were probably about maybe 40 people standing around. And a lot of them were child care directors and facilities and things like that, places that would run and operate this kind of, need this kind of piece of equipment. And so I'm just standing there, and all of a sudden, I mean, they started the bid at like $10,000. Then it got down to $5,000. And then nobody was bidding. And you're looking around, you know how you size up a crowd at an auction, and then it gets down to $1,000. And then about at $500, the auctioneer just stops and he starts chastising people. Said, people, don't you realize how much this costs? And I'm going, yeah, this is really expensive, man. This would be great at a church. He gets down to $200. $200. And all of a sudden, boom, it was like that feeling that God gives you. And I remember standing next to a pole and I fell on it. And I'm going, really, God? Am I supposed to raise my hand? What if I raise my hand and my lead pastor says, no, why'd you do that? You know? And so I bid $200. Somebody else bid $225. I'm going, great. And then $250. I raised my hand again at $250. $250 is what the bid was at the time. And I'm just thinking, okay, this will raise the bid up. Nobody else bid. It was like going once, going twice, sold. I'm going, sold? I mean, I bought that? Yeah, you bought it. Now what am I going to do? I'm in trouble. And it was just, I just couldn't believe that feeling inside me. But at the same time, I thought that children at our church are going to be so excited. I was just thinking about what they're going to see and feel. And I always wanted to have a church where people could see equipment like this so that they would know that this church is all about children. So I went and stood in line to pay for this big play set that we just bought. And I'm standing there in line, and randomly to my right, this guy comes up and he said, so are you the one that bought the playland? And I said, yes. And he goes, would you by chance be interested in a popcorn machine? And I just shook my head. There is no way in the world that could have happened other than God speaking to both parties. And that's why he got me there. And so again, while I'm standing there, the owner of the mall, it was a strip mall, came up and he said, "I heard you bought that for $250. And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you realize brand new, that's $100,000 piece of equipment?" And I said, "No, I did not know that." He goes, "You gotta steal." And again, this was all for the sake of having something to do for the children, because I wanted to be a church where people said they care about children, and this is a place where children are wanted. And so churches, groups, whatever it is, be praying about how you can invest in the lives of children and young people, and even go to the unexpected. You may not know what God's going to bring your way, but if you're open to accept whatever He brings you, then He's going to figure out a way for you to use it. So stay encouraged. He's got something great for you.